No, you'll be fine.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Welcome to the BirthBliss Academy special live broadcast from the BirthBliss Academy studio. I'm Kicki Hansard, and with me today I have
Holly,
Sarah,
and Helen.
And they are all graduates of the BirthBliss Academy Doula course. So I think we should start straight away. We've had a few questions sent to us, and hopefully we'll have some people joining us. I know it's kind of lunchtime, beginning of the week, so maybe there will, maybe there might be a few joining in. But if you have any questions, please send them in, post them on this thread, and hopefully we should be able to read them and answer them for you. So Laura's here. Hello, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hello, Laura. She's
I knew I could count on Laura.
Yeah, exactly. Always count on Laura. So the first question I had, or which actually I didn't have sent in to me, is something I want to ask you. Is it'd be really interested for women that are thinking of becoming doulas to hear maybe what you used to do before you decided to come on the doula course, and maybe also mention why you did decide to become on the doula course. So did anyone want to volunteer starting, or should we go around the table?
Okay, I'll start then.
Holly, yes.
So, yes, basically when I left school I had no idea what I was going to do. Went abroad for 7 years.
Oh wow.
Worked in a ski resort, did lots of different things, and then when I was 24 came back to the UK and did a nursing degree. And I completed that, and then I was going to go straight into midwifery, but had children instead.
Okay.
And then once I'd had the children, they were all in school. That's when I just thought, am I going to do this midwifery thing? And I'd been put off by it with all of I didn't want to work for somebody. That was my main problem, and I didn't want to be set to hours that potentially wouldn't suit me.
Yeah.
So I heard about doulas when I was pregnant with my second baby. So I looked up doula training and went for it.
And that was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really good.
That's brilliant. Because, I do tend to get quite a lot of women that are that are midwives, or that are training to become midwives, or wanting to be midwives. So that's great. So you're one of those, Holly.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Sarah?
Okay, so from I think 16, I left school, didn't really have any qualifications, and kind of fell into the fashion industry. Well, I kind of always knew I wanted to work in fashion, and worked in the fashion industry. I was the head of Ladies Wear French Connection, and I was a buyer and did lots of different things. And then my last job was at Calvin Klein, and I loved it, but it just felt, from having my son, it just felt like, I don't know, it just, as I got older and I had my son, it just felt a bit fickle.
Okay.
It didn't, I just felt like
fashion.
I loved it, but and I'm still really interested in fashion, but it just didn't feel right. And I'd always said since I was young that I'd always wanted to be a midwife, but was never very academic. And I was actually having a conversation with a friend, and I said, this was after I'd given up at Calvin Klein. They were like, thinking about what I could do. Yeah. And she said to me, why don't you become a doula? Excellent. And I was like, oh. I said, yeah, but do you have to do loads of studying and blah, blah, blah. And then I got put in touch for a friend with Danny Diosi, another one of your graduates. Yeah. Had a really lovely conversation with her. And then she kind of encouraged me to phone you, and then never looked back.
All right, that's excellent. So Sarah, you did the course in November last year. Holly, when did you?
Yeah, I did. I did it around November. But was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think it is. Well, you met up with them last night. Did you not remember? Was it 2 or 1 year ago? No, it's 2 years. I think.
Must be 2 years.
Yeah,
I thought
flies.
it was 1.
No.
Yeah, no, it was 2 years. Yeah.
I thought so.
Oh,
excellent.
God.
So, and we have Helen.
Hi, right, so most of my background has been in fraud and commercial risk, and then when
quite different.
They're laughing because I talked about the 6 months or so that I was a soldier before I was medically discharged.
Yes, I
and
love
then
that.
in the Territorial
That's so
Army. But anyway, so that was the main part of my background. And then I had my little boy 5.5 years ago. Why did I have to think about that?
I don't know.
Anyway,
time flies.
I know, how scary, isn't it? So yeah, I had him 5.5 years ago, and then when it came to going back to work, I realised I couldn't leave him, and I wanted to work for myself so I could be there for him, be a mum. And I felt really passionately about my birth experience with hypnobirthing, so I decided to train as a hypnobirthing teacher.
Okay.
And then through time, people asked me to doula for them, and I always said no because I hadn't done the course and all that sort of jazz. And then when Louis started school, I decided the time was right to grow my business and become a doula as well. Finally start attending some of those births.
Excellent. So you kind of were in the industry already, like
I was already in the birth world. Yeah, I'd been in the birth world for about 3.5, 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a natural progression.
Yeah, it was a natural progression for me. It was like the next stage of offering parents my service, and
I think especially when they were asking you already, would you be my doula? That's quite encouraging, isn't it? I feel like you could definitely go.
I had my first booking before I did my training as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, talking about that, because that was a question that we did have, and I think women that are thinking of doing a doula course often think, well, one of the things that they wonder about is there any work out there? Does anyone hire doulas? And then. Or they also need to make some kind of a living from it. So how long do you have to wait? Because with everything, building up a new business does take time.
It is daunting. I mean, you go away from the course and you obviously do your coursework. Yeah. And then you can just go out there, you find a mentor, obviously. And you do think, why would anybody book me when they can book somebody who's been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years?
I said that.
I
still say that.
Yeah, I know. And you also, even if you do get a job, then you think, am I going to get another one? Was that just a fluke? And then something else comes through, and you might not get everything that comes your way, and you might feel a bit dejected initially, but eventually you start to realise that there was a good reason for that, and the ones that did book you felt really good. But I think at the beginning it was probably a bit of a slow starter.
So how long you trained 2 years ago?
I trained in November, and then a friend of mine asked me to be her doula for her third. She'd had a doula for her first, but not her second. And I was literally talking to her one day, and she said, "Oh, you could be my doula." And I just went, "Oh yeah, okay," thinking, "Oh, she's just saying it to be nice." Yeah. And she literally wanted me to be her doula. So it was a great one because it was her third birth. She knew what to expect.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
She was very laid back. She was fit and well.
Yeah.
Her birth went really, really well, very calm. And it just gave me the courage I needed, and it made me feel really good. And I knew I'd made a difference. Yes. And although it was a friend, it just set me off. And I went home that night after being up with them and set up my website.
Wow.
Like ordered all my business cards, like literally all night long. Yeah. Because I just thought, this is it. This is
how exciting. So how long ago after the course was set?
That was February. So she was already pregnant.
So it's about 3 months. 4 months after the course. Yeah. And then how many births have you supported at now?
So I've just recognised as a doula. So I've done 4 now. Well, have I done 4 or 5? Yeah.
I love how you can't remember.
Yeah, I know. Well, actually, we did have one recently, but I do shared care. The other doula did it.
For the recognition.
Okay. Yeah. But so I've done 4 to get recognised, and they were all quite different. And I had like some setbacks. I had one lady who booked me and then didn't call me for the birth, which was my very first proper stranger booking, and I was devastated.
Why would they do that?
I just think she had brought too many people in to support her.
Mind.
Yeah, it was a really
gutting
one-off situation. I think she didn't really buy into me. She didn't even sign a contract. There was lots of things that I should have been more aware of.
Yeah, but you learned.
But that's saying that exactly. So you do the doula course, and then you go out and work as a doula, and that's when you learn all these hard, really costly lessons.
I think it was good in a way, because then literally 4 days later I got a call from another lady, and I was so different the way I approached that one. And I went to meet them, and I was much more laid back, much calmer. I wasn't saying yes to everything they wanted. And I got the job, which I couldn't believe, and it was the most amazing experience, and it was wonderful. So it doesn't always go the way you want, and you wonder why you might not get all of the bookings that people come to you for, but the ones that you do get are really magical. They are really lovely. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Holly. No, I want you to ask.
Can I just ask Holly a really good question? Yeah. Because I know other mentor doulas might have do you find you get more bookings now you're recognised?
No, I haven't
more
got
inquiries.
any since. Well, actually, I haven't even said I'm recognised on Doula UK because I know it's just one of those things. I haven't done it yet.
Oh my God, Holly!
I know. I will.
Holly might well have had a lot more births if she.
I know.
Like you're crazy.
I need to do that, but no, I've had one booking that came from a recommendation from another couple that I worked for, and that was by far the best thing, the best compliment ever. She literally said, "Oh, my friend used you, and she said you were amazing, and I'd like you to be my doula." And
that's like the best.
Oh my God.
That's so lovely.
Yeah, that was so nice.
Great.
Yeah.
So Sarah, you only trained like
November,
3 months.
end of November.
Yes. So when did you get your first?
So I trained at the end of November. I got my first booking in December, but the first birth was in January.
Okay.
And then the second birth was in January.
Wow.
Well. Yeah. And I've booked another one for June, and actually I think another one for June as well. Okay. So I've booked 4.
This is excellent.
But
really good.
yeah, obviously I would like to book more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I was interested to know once you're recognised.
Yes,
I think all the recognised doulas I speak to get loads of inquiries. So I think maybe when people decide they want a doula, they want a recognised
But then
doula.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's always the way.
No, I've certainly got jobs where they've looked at both mentored and recognised doulas.
I think it goes with you've got a picture on your Doula UK, haven't you? That you know, there's a picture of you. There's an explanation about yourself. I think that's why they're booking you, because
also
they feel
money.
like they
relate
to you.
So actually, Helen, would you like to answer the question as well about how? So you did your. When did you do your course?
It was February last year. Just over a year ago.
And then you already had a client booked. You just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a hypnobirthing client, and we were talking about doulas. Oh no, that was it. We were talking about. I was booking in her dates for her hypnobirthing, and I said, "Oh, I'm not available on these dates," and she just asked why, and I said, "Oh, because I'm go and do my doula training," and she was like, "Oh, we want a doula. Can we book you?" And I was okay.
Excellent.
So I did the course in the February, and I supported their birth in the June.
Okay, and you've had some more births since then.
Yeah, I've supported another 2 births since then.
Yeah.
Number 4's booked, and I'm back up for somebody else next week as well.
Yeah.
So we had actually a question for Marika, who's asking. She's got a few questions. I think she is really thinking about coming on a course. So how does an interview normally work? So actually what we would say, I'd like to call it a meeting, because it's not really an interview. It's for both of you to kind of feel if you're a good match. Yeah. So how did you find your first ever meeting you went to?
I love it. It's one of my favourite bits.
So you feel really confident?
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love it that much.
I have to say it's one of my favourite.
Okay, so what do you do? How long do you stay there? Did you follow my suggestions from the course?
You do end up staying a lot longer than you should probably.
I only do an hour.
I kind of probably
an hour.
Yeah,
45 minutes. I say half an hour.
Yeah,
half an hour.
We've just got our cups of tea.
Yeah,
that's why I asked for a glass of water.
Oh,
yeah. I
remember you saying that, but every time I go, I was like, yeah, I love a cup of tea because I'm a tea junkie.
And also somebody, I think Siobhan told me, or somebody said, don't put on complicated shoes that you have to.
Oh yeah,
take your shoes. Yeah,
you want to slip on shoes and get out.
Just roll off. Yeah.
Like Crocs.
That's a good one.
Yeah, somebody said.
No,
like otherwise you'll be there for ages going, oh yeah, I'm just doing.
I said Crocs.
No, yeah.
Now Siobhan would have a heart attack.
No Crocs, no.
No, I know. You're a fashion girl.
They were on catwalk there last year.
I used to have Crocs. I think they're fine.
So the initial meetings it's more for you both to kind of feel if you're the right match. So it's as much for the doula to feel how she connects with the clients as the clients connect with the doula. So it's not really a kind of a job interview.
No,
I like to call it an initial meeting that you have. The other question Marika has is, do you have your own website, or did you do flyers? And what are good places to leave business cards?
Well, Kicki gave me a really good one, which I haven't done yet, but I am going to do it. Is go into the library.
And put it in all the baby books.
My naughty one.
Oh, I need to do that.
Yeah,
I've not heard of that.
Did it work?
Tomorrow
I don't know. So actually, this is like stuff for the course. So we.
Oh yeah, sorry, can't sell that.
Sorry.
I was just talking about the library and pregnancy books. You know, you can always stick a few flyers in some of the pregnancy books in a library.
I like that.
So I wanted to answer the whole demand for doulas, because I know a lot of women worry about investing in a doula course, and then is there any work? And I know I say this on the course as well. You know, there are around 700 to 800,000 births a year in the UK, and there's maybe 1,000 doulas. So there is plenty of work out there. However, there might not be enough PR going on. But I think that with recent developments in the press, where it's been reported that Meghan Markle is gonna have a doula for her birth,
More people think
I think that might help things along. Have you found that you've had more inquiries, or the normal? Because what tends to happen is that it's like waiting for a bus. You get like 3 or 4 inquiries, and then you have nothing for a while. Is that how you find it, or have you had any more inquiries?
Yeah, I've had a steady trickle.
Yeah.
Also, I think a lot of people that might not necessarily be having a baby right now, they've suddenly heard about what a doula is. I think it's made a lot of people who maybe haven't started having babies yet, or maybe a different part of their lives, but they've suddenly heard, oh, I know what a doula is. I heard about it on the radio the other day. So I think those sorts of things are actually helping it become a bit more well known, I think.
Yeah, because a hell of a lot of people still don't know what doulas do.
No,
exactly.
Every week I have the conversation. Oh, you're a doula. No.
One of the parents
You're a dealer.
Dealer.
Oh my god! Every week I have that conversation.
I can't stay on the camping trip. I've got no mobile phone signal. I'm a doula. They're like, a dealer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
just outed myself at my son's school.
I've had that conversation so many times.
Yeah, it's either a doula,
or a dealer. Drives me nuts.
Yeah, no. But it's good that you're having the conversation. We need to let more and more people know. It's so important.
I think it's important as well for people to realise that it's not just for women who, sort of earn a lot of money, who are business women. It's not for those sorts of women. It's for anybody.
Exactly.
And there's always, I mean, obviously we all set our own prices, but it's achievable.
It's
Anybody,
a doula.
Yeah.
There's a doula out there for everyone.
there is.
There is. There can be some wiggle room sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my first client had hardly any money, and I was just her only birth partner, and it's my favourite. I mean, it's the best experience I've ever had. And the fact that I didn't charge her very much, I didn't actually really care at that point, because.
But it's important to charge something.
Yeah, no, obviously going forward, I think for me, I'd like to do a couple like that a year to kind of help people out. But obviously, I need to make some money.
Yeah, and we also have the Doula UK has an access fund that's been turned into a charity, hopefully very soon, so that everyone can use doulas. But most doulas will be able to negotiate. You charge for some clients, and then maybe do some pro bono or what
That's
you want to
kind
do.
of
Exactly, skill swaps.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I also wanted to go back to the websites. Have you all got websites? Yeah. But I would say it's not really necessary. If you can start with the Doula UK listing, which you get after you've completed the course, you've done a post-course module. Then you get your Doula UK profile up and running, and that's where most women find their doulas, and then maybe they click through to a website. But it's important what you have on the doulography, which is what they're called.
Keep it up to date.
And really important to have a good photo.
I think as well as a website, or even at the beginning when you're first starting, instead of a website, Facebook. I've had 3 inquiries this week through Facebook.
That's excellent.
It's all through Facebook.
Because also on Instagram, things like that, you follow people, osteopaths, or people that are in the baby business or health. It doesn't have to be in that kind massage instructors, and suddenly people start to see you comment on things, So I think that really helps.
I think you have to actually spend a bit of time on social media.
Yes,
you don't have a choice really if you want to do
and
that.
networking,
meet people.
And networking. I've drunk a lot of coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to meet face to face with people.
And arranging events as well. I arranged an event last week and 16 people turned out.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Well done. I would have come if I had been writing.
Yeah, where was the invite?
So that's brilliant. Yeah, so I hope that helps Marika with some ideas on how you promote your business once you have done the course. So let's see. Okay, this is a question here from someone. What was the support like after you've done the course? Because I think that if you are thinking of becoming a doula, you should definitely look at the Doula UK approved courses.
Yeah.
I think that's really quite important because those will follow core curriculum. It means you can actually join the Doula UK website and also join the mentoring process, which is really good, where you'll get access to a very experienced doula who will not come with you to births, and you can't go with her, but she will be there in the background at the end of the phone. Someone you can ask questions, get support from, and all those things. And I think, how have you found the mentoring process really helpful?
Yeah.
It's just good to know that there's someone there.
Text message, doesn't really matter what it's about or when. It's just so nice to get some feedback instantly.
That's it, and it's actually something you should use also in when you are a new, or as they're called, a mentor doula, to say that you have. The clients get you, plus they get very experienced doula as part of the package. So that's really attractive. But so in terms of from BirthBliss Academy, what support do you find that I offer, or Siobhan and I offer?
Really there's an option, isn't there? You can, when you do your course, you can get the
the plus option.
Yeah, so you get a phone call. Is that the yes? So basically,
I thought that was standard.
Oh, you get that anyway, but then you
and then
the plus option you get 4 phone calls.
Yeah.
Which, Holly, we need to
I've
be
had
doing
I've
a few
had
of
one,
those.
haven't
Yes,
I?
That's it.
1 or 2, I don't know.
Didn't even know that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really good because I think I had one just before my first birth, which was really helpful.
Yeah.
Also, I went on Siobhan's.
Has anyone
we've got the same mentor.
Workshop? Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, she's your mentor.
Yeah,
she's my mentor as well.
But you've done the antenatal.
I did the antenatal workshop.
Birth preparation workshop. No, not yet. But what else?
But then also our mentor has a mentees Facebook group as well. So then you've got support through that as well.
Yeah. And other doulas that you've trained with,
I mean, I don't know if I was supposed to, but a few times I've dropped you emails and you've come back to me, and I felt, and I didn't ever feel like, oh God, Kicki runs the course and she writes books, I can't contact her. No. You're so kind of open to kind of a text message or a phone call, and that's one thing that actually has been really helpful. Even though I haven't really done it that much, I know I can, and that helps.
Yeah. Oh, good.
And the Facebook group's really good as well with the lives.
So Siobhan is at a birth at the moment, otherwise she would be here joining us today. But so basically the support that you might not have access to is that one phone call after the course, half an hour phone call. I'm happy to read through doulographies and give feedback on those, or if you want some help with that.
Yes, I do.
I also, we have the Facebook group live, but also there's quite a lot of support there from all the other doulas.
Definitely, yeah.
So you can ask
Somebody
questions.
Can I just say,
yes.
So the girls from my course with you literally have been my rock through everything.
Oh, so you have your own WhatsApp group?
We have our own WhatsApp group.
Yeah, we do as well.
And can I just say, we literally, and I'm not even exaggerating, if we don't speak for half a day, everyone's very quiet today.
What's wrong?
But literally all day, every day. Sometimes you go for a coffee and come back and there's 143 messages.
Oh my God.
I think
they have been honestly amazing.
So that's nice. So that's something that most of the course participants do afterwards. And I'm not in all of those groups because I think I'd be getting like 1,000 things a day.
But I think that week that you do the BirthBliss course as well is something so special about the week. We all said it was a bit like therapy, or it was and we all did it together, and lots of things were discussed. It wasn't just what was on the course.
No,
lots of people had opportunity to talk and bring their own things to the course. And I think that really helps.
I do go on a tangent sometimes about different things that are in the media, or anything to do with women's health.
Yeah. It gives everybody there an opportunity to talk about their own birth experiences that they may never have discussed before.
Yeah.
And then, I think it just makes you feel, you're starting on a new chapter in your life. You might have had children, you might not be. I haven't been working for 10, nearly 11 years when I did the course.
So it wasn't new.
Yeah, so it was really like, wow.
And the one I did was the residential course as well, which was
Oh,
amazing.
yes, we were.
4 days
I wish
in
I'd
the
done that. I
house.
didn't know about that.
We're going to retake it.
Yeah.
aren't
Do
we?
you know we want to do a recourse?
We're going to
Yeah.
do a
do you call it?
BirthBliss Academy
Oh
retreat.
my god, amazing!
Yes, I just need to organise
We're very
that.
retreating
We
now.
go
Yeah.
somewhere really hot, like Bali or I don't know, America.
I wasn't planning that. I was planning like maybe somewhere in the UK or maybe like in Europe.
No,
But
that'd
I'm
be
not
really
sure yet.
nice.
But Helen, you were already kind of a birth professional when you did the course. Did you find that you learned anything more? Like, because there might be midwives out there or hypnobirthing practitioners and they're thinking, you know, I can just be a doula. Did you think it helped you to?
Definitely. I wouldn't have wanted to become a doula without doing a course. But I think in any case with birth work and all work that there's always more to learn because things are constantly changing and evolving. And we understand more about birth and things in birth, and recommendations are changing all the time as well. But different people teach in different ways, and it definitely helped to expand my knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I that's what I'd like to think. I think everyone comes into the course because it's a pre-course module for everyone to do and before you come on the course, and that brings everyone up to kind of a I know what kind of level you will be at, so I know what you will know already, so I find that really helpful for me, but I think everyone that comes on the course finds that helpful too, because it also starts getting you excited about going on the course. And then the days, I mean, you can find all the details what we're covering each day because it's quite a lot. What would you say that Sarah, did you think it was overwhelming, all the information in the course?
I wouldn't say, well, I don't know. It wasn't overwhelming. Like each day I loved each day. Like it was brilliant. Like I remember on the last day I was thinking, I really don't want this to end. And I was like really upset. But I think it's probably just a personal thing. I was like, oh my God, I've got so much to learn and I need to learn it all now. As soon as I've stopped realising that I don't have to learn this is the kind of job where you never stop learning.
Exactly.
And my thing was I need to learn it all now before I start. But no.
You learn on the
and actually each job, I mean, especially my last one, which was like 3 days, I learned so much. So it gives you a really good, strong foundation, your course, I think. And it gives you the knowledge and the confidence to then go out and add to that knowledge.
That's good. Because it is, I mean, like all of the Doula UK courses that are approved by Doula UK are prepared to work as a doula courses, because of course you can't go and the best way of learning is when you actually support the women.
Totally. You can't learn in a classroom.
No, because it's all the different women you encounter, all the different personalities, all the different midwives and doctors and everything, and hospitals.
It's all so different.
Yeah. Trying to find where the car.
I mean, I was. I think I was particularly worried as well because I'd never actually been before I became a doula. Never actually been to a birth, and my own birth was a cesarean birth as well. So I felt like, again, I was kind of even more worried because I was like, okay, I'm advertising that I'm a doula. I haven't even turned up to a birth yet, not even my own almost.
Don't say that.
But I remember being worried about that. But now I'm kind of really not, and I'm like, I was stressed about that for so long, but now I think, no, it's fine.
I spoke about that with some friends last night actually. We were saying, you know, when you go for your first interview, what do you do if they say to you, how many clients have you ever had? And you think, oh my God, you're my first. But they've never asked me.
None.
No, nobody's asked me
But also,
that.
you're not there as a medical professional.
No.
You're there just to be a good friend, a support.
Yeah.
So it's just, they want you.
Yeah.
They want your
If they
personality,
buy into you,
your
they don't
caring
care.
nature. You know, you can make them laugh at times, keep it light-hearted. You don't have to be super clever or
It's just you being you.
Yeah,
and,
it really is.
Clicking with that.
And that's
person.
what I really like to drive that home in the course. That you
definitely.
are going to be you. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Be anybody
you know,
else.
you need to be. And doulas, often women are worried about this whole thing about being responsible or having to fix something, or what do I do if this happens, you know. And the truth is, you don't actually, that's not the role of the doula. The role of the doula is just being there. And actually, I was talking to someone the other day on the phone, because with the whole hand-holding thing in the press about doulas, which many doulas felt a bit upset about, it's only because people don't understand birth physiology, so they don't understand why hand-holding works. But it's pretty much like this. If you have a child who's scared, had a nightmare, or can't go to sleep at night, what do you do as a parent? You go and lie next to them maybe, or hold them, or sit with them until they go to sleep.
Touch is one of the most important things.
Exactly. And that calmness and that makes them feel safe is what makes them go to sleep. And that's how birth works too. Like going to sleep, you need all the right hormones. And that's why it's not nothing to worry about or thinking that you have to be an expert.
Yeah. It's just your tone of voice, that you're calm, so they get that vibe off of you.
And the fact that you care as well.
Yes. And it doesn't matter whatever goes on, whatever questions they ask, whatever happens, that you're not judging them. They can just be themselves, and we don't expect anything of them. I think they sometimes worry, or my doula might be cross with me if I ask for an epidural. It's not the case.
It's not about that.
It's their birth, their choices, and we're just helping them make those choices.
Exactly that. And yes, we are, sometimes midwives get upset because they feel we also do, like a doula is meant to be doing the emotional and practical and informative support, and then midwives will say that we do that too. And of course that's part of the midwife's role. However, it's very difficult in the current system, I think, for many midwives to be able to do that fully. As often they're also very busy with other things. So we actually complement each other. And doulas are very much research, scientific. It's not just this fad or this hippie thing that people might even say. It's actually in solid research. We know that the best birth partners for a woman in labour to have is someone that's not part of the medical team, not part of the family, who's had some training, so not medical training but some training, is going to be the best support person for that woman. And that is in the Cochrane review, which is a massive, very recognised study. So it's what we're going into. If you're going into becoming a doula, you it's not just something that is not rooted in science. So I wanted to say that. So was there anything in particular you really liked about the course? Like any day, like we did a whole day on infant feeding, which is quite...
We did some role play.
What's
quite funny.
That was hysterical.
Everyone hates role play.
I find it quite amusing.
That's quite funny. We had some very good actresses on the course.
So that you had when we do the pain medication. That's always really funny. That's always fun.
And the massaging when we were sat in the big train being so immature.
And
that was the massage train.
The most toughest thing, which was the most helpful, was when you were partnered up and you had to listen to somebody speak for 2 minutes.
The listening
and
exercise.
just nod. And you weren't allowed to speak over them I found that so helpful, and that has helped me so many times. Not even in the doula world, just talking to my friends.
That's one thing that did resonate with me. I remember you saying sometimes it's just time to listen and not speak. And do you know what? It's funny you should say that, because I'm a talker, and it really is true. I saw a client who ended up booking me. I mean, I won't go into it, but she had some very bad experiences. And she sat and spoke to me she sat and spoke to me for about an hour, and I just sat and listened. And I didn't even say, and in my head, it came, this is the time to listen and speak.
Well, their husbands try and do all the fixing, don't they? Everybody's trying to fix a problem.
But it's true. It's one really important thing. It's really important thing I took away with me.
It was hard. It's hard to do, because you do want to,
especially for people like us.
What about you, Helen? What did you? Is there anything that stands out?
I was really struggling to think, actually, and that what you said about the silence, that's so true, because I did some breastfeeding peer supporter training, and we talked about that there as well, and about allowing women to unpick their stories. But I think that moment when we sat down with somebody else and spoke about our birth experiences was quite key for me, because it was something that I had never really spoken about before. But I think it's really important for us as doulas to do that, so that we leave our own stuff at the door, because we can't carry our own stories into another woman's birth space. That's not appropriate or right.
Exactly, and that's a really important point. And that's why we do spend quite a lot on that.
Can't start telling her about your horror story.
I was actually really interested as well on my course that there were women there who'd never had a baby. And I thought, what how are you going to be able to do this? But honestly, meeting them, such lovely women, and so dedicated. Yeah. And they got to talk about their own birth, so they got the information from their mother or their father, and that was really lovely. Or they asked a friend to explain their birth if they didn't know about their own, and how they can actually be amazing doulas.
Exactly. And this is it, that most of the time, every course I run, there will be women there who, first of all, they didn't think they could be doulas because they didn't think they're qualified, just like you're saying, Sarah, like with, I only had cesarean, so I haven't given birth, or I'm too old, I'm too young, I haven't had any children, all these, I've got no qualifications, I don't know nothing about childbirth. And it's really not about that. Like, I think you're qualified to become a doula or come on a doula course just by the fact that you want to. That you want to support women. Exactly. You want to support women and couples before, during and after childbirth. And
we couldn't do the job without that, really.
No.
Because of how much you need to give.
Exactly.
You have to be you have to.
There's just something within you that you just know you really need to do this. There's something.
And after your first birth, that particularly cemented that for me. I remember I came home and I was on such a high. I was shattered, but I was on such a high, and I'm like, oh my god, why didn't I do this 10 years ago?
Yeah, me too. I did that.
Like, literally,
I wish I did it before I had my own kids. Actually, I'd have learnt so much about having my own children. But that's really special. I remember the last booking I got. It was the recommendation that I'd got from another lady, and I went home and my son's being a pain at school at the moment and not concentrating, and the first thing I said was, wow, at 42 years old I finally found something that I'm good at and I want to do. And I said to my son, so there's plenty of time.
That's good for you. That's great.
It was lovely.
Excellent. So I think we see if I had any more questions come in. What was it like to attend your first birth as a doula? I think the best bit of the course was the focus on birth physiology. Oisin is saying she came over from Ireland to do the training. It's so great to really get a clear idea of how to help a labouring woman in the right headspace and environment. I'm just seeing. I think that was one question which you kind of covered. About what was it like to attending your first birth as a doula?
Really calm.
I was a bit overexcited, I think.
I was I mean, I was outwardly calm, but inwardly there was all kinds of things going on. I mean, and I was the only birth partner as well.
So that's even more.
And we ended up having a really, it's the only experience I've had, but a really horrendous midwife. I mean, it was really not a nice experience. So I kind of was worried about that as well.
Yes.
But I mean, but ultimately it was amazing. It's the best thing I've ever done, actually.
Yeah, because that's unusual. Most of the time when we work with midwives, we
love it.
team
up.
I
know. I just had a bad luck on my first birth. Yeah, it was awful. But ultimately, I've come away with all really good memories, and so is she. So.
Oh, good.
You can become really good friends with the midwives. Yeah. You know, you really support each other.
I love midwives.
We always have a hug at the end.
We did that at Williamsburg. There was like 3 of them. We were like group hugging.
Yeah, exactly. I always go to find them. To find the midwife, so you can say, "Oh God, thank you so much for working. It was great working with you, and hopefully I get to do it again sometimes." I just want to sit and ask some questions for ages. Midwives, I love a midwife.
Yeah, no, it's really nice.
You can always bring things in for them in your doula bag to leave when you leave. Like someone brings jelly babies in and or chocolate.
Yeah, everybody loves a sweet or something, don't they?
Helen, what about your first birth?
Yeah, I felt really calm. I remember I suspected early labour the day before. And I went to bed really excited, checking my phone throughout the night. And then and then the phone rang at 6 a.m. and my eyes pinged open. I was like, "Oh, I've missed it!" But I hadn't. It was fine. But other than that, I felt really calm together with it all.
I think when I was first on call for my first lady, I don't think I slept for 2 weeks. I literally, I put this emergency bypass on my phone. So basically, even if my phone was on silent, her number would ring.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah,
as well.
So good. You've got to do that. So, but literally, I woke up every 2 hours and just went,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you do.
Would you say that is the hardest part, being on call?
It can be.
I didn't mind it because I remember you saying in the course.
Depends if you like drinking. I find it quite
It's a bit of a challenge. You can always get a taxi.
No,
well,
it depends
hello.
how many we're talking about. But no, you do. You have to kind of. You don't forget you're on call, but you have to just carry on, don't you?
You do have to carry on. Also have to remember that it's only maybe 1 or 2 days that month. If you booked one client, that's going to be, go up. Be a bit disturbed those 2 days. And if you have more than one birth booked, you usually work with a backup or have someone support you. But all those things are covered in the course, of course. When you come and do that, so I think we should wrap it up a bit. I think 45 minutes is probably long enough for everyone to come back and watch it.
Wait, if they all left? Is there actually no one there? We're talking to ourselves.
No, there are some listeners here still, but I'm sure people can come back and watch this later. And actually, if you want to ask questions later on, if you type them here in the comments, I'll come back and check in and answer them, and maybe you can do so too if you feel like it. Okay. But there's one question here. There's a lot of doula courses on the Doula UK website to pick from. So what was it that made you choose the BirthBliss Academy? What made you pick that? Helen, want to start?
Okay. I don't know. It was just speaking to you, really, Kicki. I looked at a few different courses, and I can't remember all of them. And I spoke to one other provider, and I spoke to you, and it was just intuition and gut feeling, which is much the same as a woman booking her doula. It really is. It's just the right fit for you, and just check out a few different courses.
Yes, I think that's definitely a really good idea, because most of us are happy to talk to anyone looking for a course. What about Sarah? Well, you said, didn't you?
Yeah, I spoke to someone that had been on your course, and I'd already Googled you and read about you, stalker. And I'd already decided if I was going to do a doula course that it would be your course anyway. Okay. And then when Danny had said I did Kicki's course and I didn't know, I was like, it's a sign. And then I spoke to you, and it was like speaking to anyone.
I've just remembered
normal.
You were normal, which I like.
Yes,
I've just remembered actually it was Karen Rossiter that told me to speak to you, wasn't it?
Yes,
as well.
Yes, that's lovely. Okay, Holly.
Well, for me, I didn't go on Doula UK to look for.
Okay.
No, I didn't even know that Doula UK was there. I literally just Googled, looked at the few main ones obviously come up. I look at the photos of the person that's going to be teaching.
Oh my god, you're so like me.
Yeah. Is that the type of person that I feel like I can talk to? Or I don't know. And then you read a bit of the information on there. But for me, really, it was the location was convenient and the date worked really well with my children. I thought, well, that's great. They'll be in school. I can travel in, do the course. I can book support that week. So that is one of the reasons as well. It's just...
And which is fair enough. There's lots of different reasons. Sometimes it is the date and the time and the good place location that works. Maybe that's in the time. Because I do... Well, this year I'm doing 12 courses. So I'm traveling around the UK because I want there to be doulas everywhere if I can help it. But it's quite tricky to fill courses all across the UK. I mean, if you're thinking of coming on a London course, I would book sooner than later because they usually have a waiting list. Now, I have, if you want to come to Bournemouth, I've got some space there and I can offer accommodation. Same for Nottingham, Liverpool and Leeds, which is only in about a month's time in Leeds. So I got accommodation
no more Bristol.
There. Bristol I've done already, been to Bristol. So I've done Bristol. I've been to Edinburgh this year. And
that was your first one, was it, in Edinburgh?
No, that was the one just recently. Bristol was nice as well. No, so... did you all answer that question?
Yeah.
I'm just going to check any last minute questions coming in. No, it doesn't seem to be any other questions. But thank you so much, BirthBliss Doulas, for coming here this afternoon and chatting to me. And hopefully you will have found that helpful or useful. Thank you to everyone watching. It was a pleasure to have you here with us this lunchtime. And now, if you are on your lunch break, at least you have 15 minutes to go and have something to eat. Maybe you were eating while you were watching, or go out to get some fresh air. So thank you very much from all of us. And hopefully I'll get to meet you on one of our courses, and you get to meet them in the Facebook group.
See you later.
See you later.
Thanks,
Thank you. Bye.